Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So today is Memorial Day weekend. So today I want to get into a quick arm workout. I haven't done just arms in a long time, so I want to share a few of my favorite arm workouts that I like to do every now and then. Again, for my smaller muscle groups, I like to do higher volume for those. So I'll share that with you guys. And I also want to share a topic on rest days. So a lot of people, when they first start off, or I mean just in general, always try to figure out and experiment with how many rest days to take, throughout the week, whether you're working out 4 days a week, 5 days a week. It really depends on your body, so I want to kind of dive deeper into how I do it for myself and how I help my clients do it as well. So if that's something you've been struggling with, sit back, relax, and hope you enjoy it. So, I mean, what is a rest day? Obviously, it's when you're not working out. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So there's actually two types of rest days that I've learned about over the past few years. So one type of rest day is an active rest day where you're not necessarily working out, but you're doing things like stretching out, working on mobility. If you're cutting down, or I mean, even if you're bulking up, maybe even just doing cardio and core. So in a sense, that's an active rest day because although you're not physically like lifting as you usually do for the rest of the week, you're doing some sort of activity to keep your heart rate up, to keep your blood flowing through your body even on those days. So that's what I actually do. So I personally work out 6 days a week, whether I'm bulking or cutting. It just works best for my schedule, and I just feel a lot better when I have some sort of activity throughout the week. So for example, right now I'm cutting down. I'm still working out 6 days a week. And I'll break down how that kind of works as far as your workout splits. And that might be another video too. But pretty much on my off days, I like to do, since I'm cutting down, I like to just incorporate some sort of cardio on those days and work on mobility. Just usually cardio and mobility, just because I don't get to put in as much time in those throughout the week. So I like to kind of make up for it on those days. So yeah, that's the active rest day. And then a full rest day is when you just don't do anything. There's nothing negative. Everyone's body is different. It really just depends on how you want to recover. So if you're going 100% for whatever your workout split is, then it makes sense to do nothing on that 1 or 2 rest days that you do take. So those are the two types of rest days. So how many rest days should you take? So it really just depends on, number one, your schedule and your lifestyle, and number two, what types of workouts are you doing? What is your body going through throughout the week? So for example, like I'm not a powerlifter, so it's not like I'm going 100%, throwing up massive weight every single day or every other day. So what I like to do is, how I was talking about before, I work out 6 days a week. So instead of going 100%, which I can do in 3 days, I like to spread it out throughout the week. So I do it within 6 days. So that way my body's kind of in that rhythm for a longer period of time. That's just what I enjoy. But for people who don't have as much time to put in every single day or 6 days a week, then you can consolidate it into 3 or 4 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever the case is, and then take rest days for the rest of the week. So 2 or 3 days of rest. So it really just depends on what your lifestyle is, what your schedule is like. That's what I do to help with my clients as well. I try to figure out what kind of lifestyle they have, what kind of work schedule they have, how hard they would like to go when they are in the gym, and optimize that time. It's very flexible. There's no right or wrong when it comes to this stuff. So it's really just figuring out, what works best for you. So that's the advice I would give to you. Whether you're cutting or bulking, really just base it on how hard you are going the days you are in the gym. And I'll make that another video as far as how to figure out how many days you should put into the gym. And then from that, figure out your rest days. So there's no right or wrong. So one huge tip that I will give though, whether you're taking an active rest day or like a regular rest day, is keep track of your nutrition on those days as well. Don't, I know it's very easy when you have extra time to start binge eating or snacking, whatever the case is, because you're not gonna be in the gym. Try to, even though you're not working out on those days, especially if you're cutting, make sure you're still on point with your nutrition, whether you're tracking or whatever diet you follow, because that one day can throw you off, especially if you're cutting, because you might know, if you're in those shoes right now, you might be losing like half a pound every single week or a pound every single week, and that one day can throw you back 1 or 2 pounds. It can happen from so many different factors. And that's another topic as well. But yeah, I would say definitely stay on top of your nutrition, and I'm huge when it comes to that. So yeah, make sure you're on track with that. And then number 2, hydrate. So one thing that I'm still trying to work on is making sure that I hydrate. And this is key whether you're cutting or bulking, especially if you're cutting, because your body kind of flushes out a lot of what you're putting into your body as the water is coming in. So it's very important to hydrate yourself during those days. and also it helps you avoid injury because, again, when you're working out, your muscles are stretching out. So when you're resting, and I'll dive deeper into this, but when you are resting, your muscles are kind of coming back into place. So you want to help that process out as much as possible by hydrating yourself and working on those mobility and stretching exercises. So for the people who don't take rest days, and I've done that personally in the past, and I know people who do that, who work out 7 days a week with no rest days, or maybe work out until they absolutely can't work out anymore because of time or whatever the case is. I don't want to say it's wrong because, again, it kind of goes back into the topic of how hard you are going the other days. So, I mean, you can chop it up to where you're actually doing everything super efficiently 7 days a week. So I don't want to say it's wrong because I've seen people who make it work. I've made it work in the past. I just choose not to do that just because I like to focus a lot more on my long-term health, especially with my injuries I've had recently. So there's nothing wrong when it comes to that. But keep in mind that obviously when you are working out, your body is fatiguing. I mean, it's not a normal thing for you to put up a lot of weight or, I don't know, do a lot of cardio, or especially for powerlifters. You want that time to recover from your body. Obviously, when you're sleeping, you're recovering. But these rest days are key because you're getting a larger amount of time where your body's recovering and going into a place where you can kind of start fresh in a sense. And also plateaus. So for those who might not know what this is pretty much where you're making progress and all of a sudden, sorry for the sound, it's where you kind of hit a wall. So you might be cutting and all of a sudden you notice that you're not making any more progress. So what rest days can do is kind of put you in a place where your body recovers from what you might be already going through, and you might overcome that plateau by that rest day. There's obviously many other cases, but I mean, that's just one huge benefit of a rest day. It can help you get past that plateau. Even for strength, if you're throwing up 225 every single time you're benching, that one rest day can help you recover instead of going back into it with a fatigued body and start fresh. It's just like how it's just with anything. You want to start fresh and go back into it with the progress you've already made. So from a high level, I know that was a mess of a topic, but that's pretty much a bulk of the benefits of rest days. So I would say definitely keep in mind, especially if you're starting new, I would say experiment with it. It doesn't have, there's no right or wrong. So I mean, start off with maybe 1 rest days, maybe 2 rest days, play around with your workout schedule, and I'll make another video on that. But that's gonna help you out a lot to figure out how many rest days you should take. And everyone's body reacts differently and works differently. So that's a huge key, just knowing how your body works and what you like best for yourself. So hopefully that helps out. I'm gonna get into this workout, and thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon.